Hi guys, my name is Cece and I'm going to talk to you about a couple of my experiences with the beauty myth and objectification in high school. So to start off, I went to Billings Central Catholic High School. It was a pretty small high school, but I honestly enjoyed being able to know my entire class. Before I get into my story, I'll give you a little background about myself. After my 8th grade graduation, I was that girl that was excited to start high school. I was kind of nervous, honestly, but way more excited. One of the things I was most excited for was not wearing uniforms, making a lot of new friends, and playing sports. I was always really active my entire life and always looked forward to playing in games with my best friends. I'll never forget my freshman and sophomore years of high school. I didn't have a worry in the world. I would wake up, get dressed, have my lunch made for me, go to school and practice, come home, spend time with my family, and have a whole meal cooked waiting for me. It was great. Then my junior year and senior year rolled around. By this time, I was way more present on social media and would see pictures of beautiful girls constantly. I will never forget this distinct moment in my head when I saw a picture of a girl and thought, she is perfect, I want to look like her. And after that day, my entire life changed. To be honest, it felt like this time period went by really fast and I started eating way healthier and working out a lot. And I could see a huge change in my appearance and I loved it. I loved the attention that I got from other girls asking what I was doing and telling me that I looked good, and the attention that I got from guys. Until it got to an obsessive place where I couldn't even eat something bad, quote unquote, without going on a run after feeling terrible about myself. There was one night that my mom and I talked about, because I always compared myself to my sister and how my body looks and how I'm jealous that she's so skinny, and she said I'll never look like that and how we are all unique and beautiful in our own way. Over time, I have learned that moms are always right and every girl can be beautiful in their own way. Throughout life, I think something that could help this beauty myth go away would be not to idolize certain look and body image on social media. The honest truth is that every look and body is beautiful, and there isn't one particular way to look to impress a boy or to be happy.
My name is Bridger Stevenson, and I'm going to tell a cringy story about my first high school dance where I experienced the beauty myth and abject otherness. I was a junior, and it was my first homecoming I actually attended. I didn't know many people still, so I didn't go with the date. I planned on hanging out with the hockey team because those were the only kids I really knew at the school, and they talked me into attending the dance. When we got to the dance, I quickly found myself in the predicament of being alone while everyone else was dancing with a girl, which at a high school dance feels like an extremely life-threatening position. I was somewhat panicking and I didn't know what to do or who to hang out with. I was being told by my teammates there was this girl who wanted to dance with me and to hang out after the party. I didn't know who she was, and I wasn't sure if I trusted my new teammates to set me up with a girl at a new school. When I was finally introduced to this girl, I didn't exactly want to do any of that with her, and what my new teammates defined as desirable in a woman, I didn't in this scenario, which is a perfect example of the beauty myth. Beauty is not a universal standard. I was the new kid at my third high school, and I desperately wanted to make friends and to be accepted by my new teammates. They were the popular type at this massive high school in Detroit, Michigan, and I was the new kid from North Idaho. I mentioned to a teammate right off the bat I wasn't necessarily interested in this girl, and the response I got was something like, "Dude, are you kidding? Are you a fag or something?" This was my first big experience with abject otherness in the form of "dude, you're a fag" discourse. When I was challenged with being called a fag, I immediately wanted to get rid of that word that had just been put onto me. So I had to get rid of any indication that I could be just that. So this meant doing what they all expected by dancing and hanging out with this girl they told me was desirable, when I didn't necessarily agree. All I wanted to do was be accepted and be one of the guys. I have grown up since then, and I have learned much more. Now I can identify situations like this and have the confidence to not give into the discourse and allow it to make my decisions for me. I know what I like in a woman, and it's not a type or a hair color. It's what I like. I also know now that I don't need to satisfy other men with what I like.
Prom. There are two types of people in the world. Those that get asked to prom, and those that take pictures of people getting asked to prom. I'm not going to make you guess. Heck, I don't even know you. So I'll make it easier for both of us and tell you that I was underwhelmingly in the later category. That's right, you heard it here first, folks. You are listening to the one, the only photo editor-in-chief of Garfield High School's 2014 yearbook. Yeah, you can read between the lines and realize that I was the four-eyed chick at every school event ever, glued to the back of a camera lens. But nevertheless, I wasn't ashamed of being the one behind the camera and not in front of it. I loved living high school through the safety of my viewfinder. All my life, I had felt like I didn't fit into the ideal look, so I had beat the game by finding a way to fit in without being conforming. I felt like I had an extra force field around me that allowed me to be present with the popular kids without being seen. It was only when prom season started rolling around and this whole new fad of promposals. Side note, whoever invented the term promposals can burn in hell. But this whole promposals business started, and everyone just wanted me to be there at the promposal so that I could take pictures of the whole ordeal. I remember the first time I was asked to photograph this ludicrous adolescent rite of passage, and I honestly didn't understand what was going on. All I understood was that I hadn't been asked to prom yet, so therefore life as I knew it was over. Throughout my entire preteen stage, my head had been flooded with movies of girls in high school that all ended at the prom, aka the best night ever. Well, best night ever for the skinny, blonde-haired, perfectly petite girls that I was continuously photographing getting asked. As for me, on the other hand, I learned that even as someone so negatively affected by these images of beauty standards, I had somehow become the catalyst for promoting what beauty standards people at my school should adhere to. I was helping spread this myth that there was only one objective measurement of beauty that women should embody, and I was the one who had the power to perpetuate it or try and change it. Don't worry, though, eventually some poor kid took pity on me, and I went to prom, though I can pretty much guarantee you it was far from the best night ever. I guess there are two types of people in the world, those that get asked to prom and those that realize life is bigger than prom.